Yo, Kpaceguy here, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk to you guys about which is better, a 5.1.4 or a 7.1.2 Dolby Atmos system. I get this question all the time in a lot of my home theater videos, and I decided it's time to just make a dedicated video on the matter. Now, this is my personal opinion and from experience, but there's no factual evidence behind this, so take it with a grain of salt if you want to, but let's go ahead and talk about which one's better. But before we talk about which one is better, we need to understand what those numbers mean in general. So what is a 5.1.4? Well, the 5 in a 5.1.4 is the number of bed layer or floor speakers in your home theater. So you have your front left and front right, your center, and then you have your rear left and rear right. That is the 5 speakers in the 5.1.4. Now the 0.1 is the number of subwoofers. So in this case, one subwoofer. 5.1, so 5 bed speakers and a subwoofer. Then the 0.4 is the number of Atmos speakers that you're using, whether that's in the ceiling, on the walls, or on top of your existing floor, your floor level speakers in your 5.1.4. So 5 bed layer speakers, 1 sub, and 4 Atmos speakers. Now, that explains what a 7.1.2 is. It's 7 bed layer speakers instead of 5. So your front left, front right, your center, your rear left, your rear right, and then you now have side surround. So side left and side right to make your 7 bed layer speakers. And then again, your 1 subwoofer is your 0.1. And then this time you have 2 Atmos speakers instead of 4 because we're using those 2 channels that we had before for extra bed layer speakers instead. So that's your 7.1.2 and your 5.1.4. So let's talk about which one is better. So a lot of your mid-tier receivers that are coming out nowadays have maybe 11 channels or 9 channels of processing and then 2 extra channels if you have an extended amplifier. And so you have to choose between running a 5.1.4, getting a full 4 Dolby Atmos system, or sacrificing 2 Dolby Atmos speakers for a 7 bed layer system. And you may be wondering, which should I choose? Should I run 4 Atmos speakers or should I run 7 bed layer? Which one is the best sounding? In my personal opinion, and again, through my experience, I've found that running a 5.1.4 is more immersive and sounds better than running a 7.1.2. And the reason that I feel this way is because you can, if you have 4 Atmos speakers, you can put 2 in the front and 2 in the rear to give you a full transition of things going above your head. So you get this dome-like sound when you're watching your Dolby Atmos content. A lot of movies nowadays are engineered in Dolby Atmos, and they use at least 4 speakers. It's not really made for 2. It's more so made for 4 or more. So when I'm watching movies on my projector screen, when I'm sitting down and relaxing and I have those 4 Atmos speakers firing, it really helps add immersion to the movies. And it's not just for movies, it's also now for music. Things like Tidal now allow you to have Atmos music, so that when you're listening to music, there's some atmospheric sounds going on within the piece now, which actually sounds really, really cool. Try it out if you haven't already. So for me personally, I like the Atmos experience because you get more sense of height. So when you're watching planes and bombs and things go every which way, it's not so two-dimensional. It's more so 4D or 3D, if you want to call it that. It's everywhere around you, not just on a linear level. It's very, like I said, it has a lot of height to it. So when you run 4 Atmos speakers, you get really good Atmos separation. You can hear those speakers fly past you, or those objects fly through the speakers, giving you a sense that they're coming past you. When you only have 2 Atmos speakers, typically you have to choose rear or you have to choose front. Sometimes you can choose middle, which is what I would do if you can, but a lot of people can't do that. So you have to choose front or you have to choose rear Atmos speakers in a 7.1.2. And that's when you can tell that there's Atmos there. There are things that come above you, but it doesn't move. You hear it in one spot and maybe left to right, but you don't hear it front to back. And a lot of movies nowadays, they move front to back. Now, thunder still works fine, right? If there's thunder above your head, you're gonna hear it above your head. But if you have planes flying past you, well, you're not gonna hear it fly past you. It's not, because there's not a second set of speakers to make that transition happen. So in a 5.1.4, you have that transition. Now, yes, you lose 2 speakers on your bed layer, but typically it's fine because those rear speakers are gonna fill in enough information that you're still gonna get that surround sound effect. Therefore, I think it's more beneficial for the viewer to have as many Atmos speakers in the air as you can, because that's really where that dome-like sound happens. You don't really get a dome whenever you have just surround sound. You get surrounded by it, but it stays in this area. It doesn't really kind of, envelop you the way that Dolby Atmos can. So for me personally, I'm running a 7.3.4 in this room. I have a processor and external amplification to where I can still have my 7 speakers, but I also still have my 4 Atmos speakers. But if you're someone who does not have the space or the receiver to run a 7 on the floor and then 4 above, I recommend doing a 5 on the floor and a 4 above versus 7 on the floor and 2 above. I think you get a much better sound. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. You guys hear my opinion, but I wanna know yours down below in the comment section. Tell me, what do you believe is the better configuration, a 5.1.4 or a 7.1.2? Which one would you go if you had to choose? Or if you are choosing, which one have you chosen? And let us know why down below in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you in the next video. Kpaceguy out. Peace.